saturation session. You know the drill. Focus on your affirmation. Thank you for the hearts. Focus on your affirmations. No matter how many times you get distracted, just give back to your affirmation. If you get any negative thought, just observe it, let it pass. Feel whatever it's making you feel and just get back to affirmation. Don't fight with your mind. It's just an idea of where you put your focus. And like this, you are gonna neutralize the old story, so it won't have any emotional charge anymore. So it's just gonna become like any thoughts or any story. Just you are not gonna feel triggered by it, or it's gonna be significant for you because you are putting your focus on the new story. And the more you put your focus on the new story, the more you are making it alive. You are putting so much energy in it. So then it's gonna be reflected into 3D. But that's not your business. You shouldn't be looking at the 3D waiting for it to conform. Or from the 3D you are gonna say that if this is working or not. So just mind your own business and just keep affirming. You can like affirm one affirmation, or if you have multiple affirmations, you can set a timer of 10 minutes each affirmation. And you can create a routine from that. If this is your first time affirming with me, if you have been affirming for days now, just don't focus on the time. Don't focus on, oh, I have been affirming for 10 days, for 20 days. If you have what you want, you are not going to be saying, where is it? So you just have to keep getting back to your affirmation. And you just need a little bit of practice. It's hard at first, that's totally fine. But with practice and discipline, it's gonna get easier for you. And there is literally no rules. You can see anything in the 3D and you can just say, this is happening because my affirmation is working. Even if it's not related at all. You can be delusional with it. Because nothing has meaning, you give it meaning. So if you say that you are seeing this and this because it means that you are gonna get what you want and it's getting closer to you and it's unfolding perfectly, then that would be it. Like, that's exactly what's gonna happen. So technically you can use everything and anything to feed your new story, like literally. Just be creative with it. And the more you affirm and the more you focus on the new story, the more you're gonna start seeing it. Your reticular activating system is not gonna filter the new story anymore like it used to. Now you're gonna start seeing more of it, detecting more of it in your environment. Maybe things that you already used to have but you never really paid attention to because you had a different perspective. But when you start affirming for your self-concept, you start seeing that actually I have always, it has always been this way, you know. This is not new to me. And that's just gonna help you to create that the neural circuit in your mind that yeah, I am seeing evidence, actually I already have it. I really have it. I just still don't have it in that specific area that I want, and it's happening, of course. There is no doubt about it because I have to be proven right. That's all what your reality is doing, is just proving you're right for those assumptions that you keep repeating over and over and over. So if you say like, I am seeing movement or I have what I want, the answer is gonna be yes. And if you say, well, I think it's taking too long, the answer is gonna be yes. So that's why you have to be aware of what you are assuming. Even if you don't see anything, as I said, you can use anything to your advantage. For example, if you are manifesting love, you can see just you are out and about and you see couples, you know, you can start saying that yeah, I am seeing them because I am next. I am next. That's why I am perceiving them. Or else I wouldn't perceive them at all. Like your reticular activating system didn't filter those couples out or just made you feel like that you are unlovable or something. You can change that narrative by saying, yeah, I'm seeing this because me next, because I will experience this next, because I have this, because it's done. You wouldn't perceive something in the 3D that you don't already have within. You have to keep this in mind. That if you see other people living the life that you inspire to live, it's because you have it within yourself. You can live it too. So instead of comparing yourself to other people, which we all do all the time and consciously, it's a great opportunity to give, just to say the story as you want it, you know, to say exactly what you want to experience. Not like, because it is like totally different perspective between seeing people in love and just saying, oh, like I am just not lucky and everyone is in love but not me, and you're just repeating the old story, you see, and you are not aware of it. You have to be aware of that in those kind of moments. So you can switch that and say that I actually perceive them because it's possible for me, because I have it, because it's done. My affirmations are working clearly, and you can just roll with it like this and change your emotional state from feeling desperate and oh my god, it's not working, to feeling hopeful and knowing very well that what you want is done. That's why belief at first is not a requirement, it's not needed, it's not important, because your mind, your conscious mind, is literally gonna believe it until it sees it in the 3D, you know? So do not care about believing. You just have to know that it's possible. That's it. That's it. You just have to know that it's possible, and then boom, you are gonna see it in 3D, and then your mind is gonna start creating the correlation between, yeah, actually this is work, like this works, like what you were doing actually works, and then it's gonna start like working with you instead of against you. But at first you just have to ride those waves because you are the master of your mind. Even if it tells you this is not working, even if it tells you you are just wasting your time, it doesn't know what it's talking about because it's only talking about the old story. It doesn't have anything new to talk from, you know? And once you ride that wave and you start seeing the 3D reflecting back exactly what you want, yeah, your mind is gonna be with you and it's not gonna be against you no more. And it's gonna get easier. You are gonna get to a point where you don't even feel resistance because your mind believes that you actually can manifest anything you want because it saw the evidence over and over and over. So the only thing that's gonna keep you feeling like stuck and not seeing what you want, even if you are affirming, is when you affirm, you make time to affirm. You set a timer of 10 minutes or whatever, and you affirm. And when you are done, you just for the rest of the day, you are just thinking about the old story, and you are not aware of that, or you are venting about it. You still talk about it. You still wanna complain, you know. Or I'm looking at the 3D and saying, where is it? I have been affirming for like a week, 5 hours a day. This is crazy. I should have it by now. This is not working. Which is it's okay to spiral, you know. It's okay to crash out. Let that all out and then get back to your new story. And you have to be aware that if you are just focusing, for example, like 10% of the time on the new story, but for 90% of the time you are thinking about the old story. Who do you think is going to win? The old story that's already dominant and you are still thinking about it for some reason? Or the new story that's still a newborn baby that's still working its way through in your mind? Of course, the old story that's gonna be like still there because you are still entertaining it, still talking about it. If someone come and ask you, you still like respond from the old story or something like that. You just have to embody that version that you already have it. It's not like I have it by day and I don't have it by night. It doesn't work like this. You just have to be stubborn, you know? Because the repetition that the old story has been repeated for years just made it stubborn, you know? Because it has been repeated for years. Now you have to be stubborn with it and just stick to what you want. It's like when someone coming at you and telling you like something so wrong and you know they are wrong about that affirmation. You know, you have to be stubborn about it. You can't just tell them like, yeah, you are right. That's true. That person is right. Of course, in your mind, you are gonna be like, that's not true. That person is not. They don't know what they're talking about. Well, the same thing you have to do with your mind. When it threw the old story at you, you are just have to be like, you don't know what you're talking about. You really don't know what you're talking about. I know you are trying to help me. Thank you very much. But I know better and you have to follow my lead, you know, because I know what's better for us. Because the mind is just trying to help you to stay safe and survive, and it can lie to you just to keep you safe. It doesn't care about making you happy or not happy. It just want to keep you safe. And for the mind, the safer option is the old story. Why? Because it's familiar, because it has been there, because we know the outcome. The mind doesn't care if you are hurting from it. It doesn't care if it's negative. It's just following your lead, you know. Keep thinking about it. The mind think that, yeah, this story is useful, so I'm gonna keep pushing it to you. So now you are doing the opposite of all of that. So it's okay that you are gonna feel like your mind is not cooperating with you. You know, it's okay. Do not fight with your mind, because who's gonna win? You are just fighting with yourself. Just let those thoughts pass. It's okay if they still trigger you, even after like sitting with them or letting them go for so many times. I don't care how many times you do it. You could sit with them for like 3 million times. I do not care. Do not let them consume you. Thank you for the heart. It's okay. They are gonna go. They are gonna go. It's just an old story. That's just shows you how much you repeated that shit. That's why it's still stuck. You repeated that shit over and over and over in different patterns, in different situations, just the same shit packaged in different, you know, in a different way. It's literally the same thing, so you just have to keep letting it go and getting back. Of course, reminding yourself that you are safe to feel the way you do. It is like you are not in danger. You are totally safe. And then you relax. And then you get back to the new story. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to actually regulate your emotions. It could take you 1 hour, 2 hours, 10 minutes, 2 minutes, a day, 2 days. It doesn't matter how long it's gonna take you to regulate your emotions. But do not be like, oh, resistance is just so hard. I'm just gonna give up. This is too much. You are just giving up on what? And you are going back to what? If you give up, you are just going back to the old story, because you find that it's stronger than you. And you don't want to go back to the old story. Now that you know that you create your own reality, and you know that you have been repeating the old story, and that's not what you want, you can't go back to it. You can't just go back to thinking like, oh my god, I am this and I am that. That's why this is happening. It's impossible. You have to keep riding it up. You have to keep fighting the fight, you know? You have to keep riding those waves that your mind throws at you. Until one day, it's just not gonna keep doing it. It's one day you are just gonna wake up and it's gonna stop. And you can't believe it. And oh my god, like my mind stopped pushing the old story at me completely. Yes, because you really kept going back to the new story no matter what. So of course it's gonna die down. And you start feeling like that the old story is so distant, and it's not you anymore, and you can't believe that you used to be that version of yourself. The mind forgets easily, you know, completely forgets, because now it adapts itself with a new story. It doesn't care about the old story. The mind only cares about what you keep thinking about, what you keep ruminating about. That doesn't mean when an old story comes to you, and it keeps coming to you, that means you are actually like ruminating about it. If you are aware that, yeah, this is a negative thought, this is an intrusive thought, we know that intrusive thoughts do not manifest. If every thought you had in your mind manifests, your life would be complete disaster. You have to know that. That's not your thoughts that manifest, but your dominant assumptions. You know, assumptions that you just know that they are gonna happen because you keep experiencing them a lot. You know, for example, let's say you have a certain story about somebody, you know that they are like, they always complain about something, they are not positive. So you automatically, when that person texted you, your mind is gonna go to, oh, they have something to talk about again, they wanna complain about something. That's for sure. Because you get used to it. They do it all the time, you know? Of course, you are not gonna be like, oh yeah, they have a positive things to say this today. Why would it? Because that's not what you think of them. You see how patterns is created. So of course, you know 100% that that person is just trying to complain about something. And of course, you have to be proven right. This is the kind of assumptions that create reality. It's like there is already evidence of it in the 3D. It's a belief. You know it's gonna happen. You know that it's gonna happen. That's the one that we are now trying to change. You know what I mean? By thinking about what we want, which is the opposite of it. Whether you want to change your view about somebody, or you want to change something in your self-concept, you know, it's about thinking of the opposite, you know. And sometimes the 3D is going to reflect it right away. You can manifest things instantly, of course. And sometimes there's going to be a little bit of lag, and you shouldn't be thinking about it as if like, I am waiting. You see, this is the trick. You are not waiting. You have what you want, okay? The 3D is going to eventually reflect it back. It's just because the old story keep being repeated a lot, you are not going to see it right away, okay? But you could, again, things could change overnight. That's why you should not care about the 3D, because you have to be proven right. There is no way out. Like 10 out of 10, you have to be proven right of what you are affirming. Like you can't just keep thinking about someone like as like the nicest person ever, and they are like an angel and stuff like that. And just like one day they are gonna disrespect you or not talk to you in a bad way or stuff like that. It's not matching with the version of them that you created in your head. You know what I mean? So that's why we hold like stories about people for years and years and they do not change, because we perceive them that way, you know? If you perceive someone as a liar, like, of course, whatever they are gonna tell you are gonna think they are lying to you, you know? And you have to be proven right that they are lying to you. So yeah, like, you should not keep focusing on the 3D because like it's inevitable. What's important is to keep going back to the new story. That's it. Like, you don't need to believe it, you don't need to feel it, because how can you feel and believe something that you have never experienced before? Okay, feel and believe it means there is no resistance, and I already am used to it. I see it everywhere. Imagine like someone who have a belief that I always get spoiled, I always get spoiled by gifts, and I always get things for free. You know, when they are gonna give something for free, they are not gonna be super excited about it because it's familiar. It happens all the time to them. That's their life. But for somebody else who doesn't believe that they can get things for free, and they believe that you have to pay for everything, and they don't believe the gifts or any of that, they are gonna see that person as like, wow, like you are so lucky, like you are just, if I get one thing for free, or I get something, a gift or whatever, I'm gonna be so happy and I'm gonna cherish it for my whole life. Why? Because like they are not used to it. It's just like an idea of familiarity. So that's why repetition is important, because the more you repeat your affirmation, the more it becomes familiar. Your brain gets used to it. Your nervous system gets used to it. So when it happens, you are not gonna be, oh my god, this is too good to be true. I can't believe this is happening. Is this real? Did I manifest this? Oh my god, this is crazy. And then you sabotage it right away because you don't feel like you deserve it, because it's not familiar, and immediately your nervous system is gonna see it as dangerous and it's gonna push it away. That's why people manifest stuff and they can't maintain it, especially like relationships, because the problem is in the self-concept. It's not in the story that they have about the person, but the self-concept. If you believe that you are not worthy of love, and like you never get luck in love, if someone comes to your life and treated you like so good, and they loved you, take care of you, and they did all the things that you would love a partner to do to you, but your self-concept is not built on that, you know, of course you're gonna start sabotaging. This is too good to be true. There is something wrong. It has to be, this person is almost perfect. Like, how are they treating me like this? And starts thinking that I don't deserve this. This is too much for me. And this all happened, of course, consciously or unconsciously. It does happen because there is no foundation. Your nervous system is not used to that. Okay? So what's supposed to make you feel safe and feel great and enjoy what you have together is actually making you feel anxious, making you feel like so stressed. You know what I mean? Because you still don't believe that you are worthy to have those things yet. So the answer to this is go back to your self-concept. Work on your self-concept, how you view yourself around love. That I am worthy of love, I am always loved, taken care of, loved, spoiled, provided for, I'm always treasured, catered to, like whatever, like the thing that's really important to you, I always get committed to. You know, and just like keep repeating that new story, that's it, like it's not rocket science. And in that repetition you are, it's a journey on its own, you know, because even when you manifest what you want, you shouldn't stop affirming, because why would you? You know, it's not like I get what I want now, I'm gonna get back to the old story and start sabotaging what I have now. No, you have to keep affirming. You have to keep affirming to the point where it's a firm belief. That's it. There is no doubts, no what ifs, no this is too good to be true, no nothing. Yes, this person is treating me like this because that's normal, like I deserve this, it's okay, my nervous system is relaxed, because you already made your nervous system get used to it, you know. Before it actually gets used to it, you have to get used to it. You can't really, like literally you cannot, and you can look at your life, you cannot manifest something in your life and maintain it, which is the point. To maintain it, you don't want to manifest something for 1 day or 2, or for a week or 2, or a month or 2. You want it forever. You want it to be there until you no longer want it, until you be the judge that if you want to keep that thing or not, or that person or not. Not to be able to manifest something and then it just like run away from you and oh my god, I don't understand what happened. Yeah, because when you get your manifestation, you get too comfortable that you get back to the old story. Literally. Keep affirming even when you get what you want. In fact, affirm harder when you get what you want. You know? And I'm giving examples with relationships because within the relationships you are going to be triggered in ways that you didn't before the relationship. You know, so you have to be like, you have to pay attention. You know, you affirm that you are prioritized and chosen by your partner, right? And you have to pay attention to the old story, to not like sneak on you and let you know, tell you that, oh my god, that person didn't respond in like 4 hours, like they are doing this or they don't want to talk to you anymore. You have to catch those moments. You can't just get back to the old story after all the work that you have done. You know, you have to catch those moments and get back to your new story. No, I am loved and chosen. They love me. Of course they want to talk to me. Of course they miss me. I'm sure that they are just busy and they are gonna get back to me later and explain everything, and we are gonna have a good time and stuff like this. Like always choose the story that you want, not the story that used to be. Okay? Because the story that used to be didn't get you too far, did it? If it did, you wouldn't want to change it. Okay? But it didn't work. That's the thing. If this old story would have worked, it would have worked by now, but it didn't. It worked, to be honest. It works. Technically, it worked because it proved you right. It proved you that you are not loved, you are not taken care of, nobody wants you, nobody want to catch up with you, you are not chosen. It actually worked, but it didn't work the way you want it to. You don't want to feel unchosen, you don't want to feel unlovable. That's not what you want. Nobody wants that, okay? You want to feel good, you want to feel chosen, you want to feel that someone is being intentional with you, prioritizing you, committing to you, talking about your future together, and actually taking action towards it and being consistent with it. And these things, if you are not familiar with, of course your nervous system is gonna be like, this is too good to be true. Like, girl, just give up. We're never gonna experience this ever. This is like too much. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna happen. It's normal for your brain and your nervous system to say that because you have no point of reference. It's fine. But you are waiting for your brain to tell you that, yeah, because actually we had something like that before, and you know what? It's possible. It doesn't, because it doesn't have an old story that is positive, that is linked with that. It's not familiar. So it's not gonna help you with actually repeating the new story. In fact, at first, it sees the new story as like a threat. You know, this is dangerous. What are you talking about? What do you mean, commitment? We have never been committed to before, and you know that. What do you mean loved? No. This is a waste of time. And you have to keep going anyways. And you have to keep going anyways. Even if your mind is throwing all that at you, you have to keep thinking in your favor. Because you are the reprogrammer, you are the programmer of the mind. The mind is just a tool, you know. It's just an organ that it's literally talk back to you based on what you used to say in the past. So if you keep talking from the new story, at some point your mind is gonna talk back to you the new story. That's how it works. So you have to always get back to the new story, no matter what. And if you take a break, that's fine to take a break, okay? Don't feel like, oh my god, like the resistance just win and now I have to take a break because I felt like resistance didn't let me affirm. Don't think about all of that. That's just part of the old story. Just relax, take your time to relax, because you are literally not in a rush, because what you want is already yours. What you want is already done. So there is actually nothing to obtain. You are just trying to keep getting back to the new story. That's it, because what you want is already done. Okay? So to stay in alignment with it, You have to get back to the new story. And resting and taking a break is also part of choosing the new story, by the way, because if you felt resistance and you keep like persisting on top of the resistance, like what you resist persists, but what you accept transforms. You are just gonna create more resistance. Okay, those negative thoughts or intrusive thoughts, they are gonna get louder. Do not fight with your mind, because your mind, when it feels like you are putting a little bit of pressure, it puts more pressure. Why? Because it feels like you are threatening the old story that it's keeping you safe. And we don't want that. We want to stay safe, because the old story is familiar. So do not fight with your brain. Do not like it says one word to you and you keep like saying another word and you keep going back and forth with it. It's exhausting, it never ends. I promise you it doesn't end. You are gonna keep speaking to your mind forever because you are still feeding in the new story. Of course, at some point you get fed up and you say like, shut the fuck up or something, but you go back to the new story or be like, that's a stupid idea, and you know that, and you go back to the new story. Like moments like these, to just remind your mind literally that that's what it's thinking is stupid and it should not be thinking about it, and put like a doubt into it. But do not just sit down and keep like going back and forth. Your mind is telling you one thing and you are like, that's not true, this is what's true. And then it's gonna tell you something else and you are like, that's not true. That's exhausting, okay? You have been manifesting your whole life, okay? And you weren't putting any effort, did you? You didn't put any effort to manifest the things that you manifested before. Yes, you weren't doing it consciously. Now that you are doing it consciously, you have to be aware of these traps, that your mind is gonna pull you in. Just keep like arguing with me, so we are not gonna focus on your story at all. Just keep arguing with me and let's feed the old story to stay stuck in it, because when you get to a point where you are choosing your new story, the old story is irrelevant. I like this method that I created for myself, which is like blue chair. It's like any thoughts that I don't like or intrusive thoughts or whatever, I just think of a blue chair, because every thought that I have in my mind is just a blue chair. What do I think about a blue chair? Nothing, absolutely nothing. It's just a blue chair. I don't care about it. I'm not triggered by a blue chair. So it helps me to actually make a gap between my own thoughts and be like, oh yeah, it's just a blue chair. It's like, it's not hurting me, it can't hurt me, no matter how much it tries to make me feel like it's real or true. It cannot hurt me because it's just a blue chair, So to neutralize the energy. So always like if there is like a thought that is emotionally charged, 100% you have to feel those emotions. You have to let them go, okay? Don't let them be stuck in your body. They have been stuck. So if you don't feel them, you are gonna suppress them in your body again. The emotion is what matters. Feel them. Feel them to the max. The old story doesn't matter. The thoughts that come to you, why is it so triggering and oh my god, and I feel like I'm gonna lose my mind? It's because of the emotions that are attached to it. Once you feel the emotions the right way in your body, in whatever you feel them in your body, and you do not engage with the old story, you do not engage with that thought that it's screaming at you, telling you that you are not good enough, you are useless, whatever it is, and you just sit down with the emotion. The thought has no power. It just goes away after a moment, and even when you think back to it, it feels powerless because the emotion is what made it powerful, the emotion is what made it powerful. So when you feel the emotions in your body, because the emotions are stored inside of the body, in the nervous system, especially in the fascia system. So when you feel it in your body, the thought just shut the fuck up, like it doesn't talk anymore. So that's why if you feel triggered by a thought, it's good to use anger as a fuel to command and demand that what you want is done no matter how you feel. I think that frustration and anger is a beautiful fuel to 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 reaffirm the new story in a really like stern manner. This is what it is and I do not care. And then you feel your emotions, because when you feel anger, there is sadness behind it. There is always sadness behind anger. So you may start crying and you may start feeling frustrated. And that's fine. Okay? Feel those emotions. Just feel them. Don't run away from them. Don't be scared of them. And once you feel those emotions, you are gonna start feeling so much better. The thought will, it may come back again because it was repeated before, but it's less and less and less important. One time you are gonna engage with it because you are gonna forget. One time you are gonna ignore it, and you are gonna keep doing that until it's just gonna go for once, you know. And what's gonna help you is like when you're gonna start to see evidence in the 3D, it's just gonna solidify that thought, it doesn't mean anything. It just helps a lot that you start getting reassurance from the 3D, because the reassurance that you used to give to yourself is now being reflected back to you, because you keep persisting even if there is so much doubt, there is so much negative energy inside of you. You still give yourself reassurance even if the 3D give you nothing to work with. You know what I mean? You give yourself the evidence, you give yourself the reassurance. That of course the 3D are gonna start reflecting that reassurance back to you. And of course that old story it's not gonna stay there, because it was at some point there because of the what ifs. What if this? What if that? Because you didn't see it in the 3D. That's why they become like that. So my advice to you is to literally, those thoughts are not gonna hurt you, no matter how real they are trying to make you feel. They are not real, they are not true. Anything that is real and true is not gonna convince you for being real and true. It just is, you know what I mean? It's like awareness, consciousness, it just is. So let it go and just get back to the new story. So now keep affirming, keep focusing on the new story. And you know the beautiful thing about robotic affirming is once you start taking it seriously, you just cannot go back to the old story. you know. And even if you give up and you try to go back to the old way of thinking, it's just gonna feel like you are lying to yourself. What is this? This is stupid. It just doesn't resonate anymore. Why? Because the new story becomes more powerful and it has a place now in your brain, you know. That's going back to the old story doesn't make sense, you know. Going back to giving up and saying whatever, I don't need that thing, I don't care, when you really really want that thing, it's just gonna make you feel like you are lying to yourself. So there is just one rule, which is like literally like getting what you want, or getting what you want. Like you shouldn't give your mind an opportunity to be like, but what if we didn't get it, like what should we do? Like you don't open that door to begin with. Like whether you are gonna get what you want or you are gonna get what you want, there is no third option of what if it didn't work, let's prepare for it. Like that's so stupid. You're only gonna prepare for the things that you are gonna get, but because that's the things that you expect. Hello, you know, you can't prepare for like what if it didn't work, like I should be doing something for it. No, that's just old thinking, that's just old story. You shouldn't be doing anything. You just have to stay stubborn within your story. And literally that's it. And you have to scream at yourself at times that I am the creator of my own reality. I get to write the story as I say it. You know, I am the thinker of my reality. I am the only thinker here. I just have to change my perspective. That's it. The 3D must to have no choice but to reflect me back, to reflect my affirmations, to reflect my assumptions. And they are gonna be repeated back to me exactly the way I want it. You know what I mean? You shouldn't like give room to doubt. And you are gonna notice that every time you were so firm and you used anger as a fuel, or frustration as a fuel, and you alchemize it to, I'm gonna get what I want no matter what, and there is no power on this entire earth that's gonna tell me that I cannot get what I want. I don't care if like all people and all 8 billion people like just lined up and they are telling you, well, you are wrong, you are not gonna get what you want. Look at them, be like, you are wrong and I'm gonna get what you want. Watch me. You have to get to that point of stubbornness. That's why, like, if quote unquote the idea that we have about spoiled people, spoiled kids, that they always get their way, you know? They always like make their parents buy them whatever they want, just by being stubborn and spoiled, because they feel like they are entitled to it. They feel like they are worthy of it. And at the end of the day, no matter how much the parents say no, they are gonna buy their kid what they want. Why? Because they are not taking no for an answer. It doesn't matter what they are doing. They are screaming or whatever. It's their way of showcasing that I just don't take no for an answer. And they end up getting what they want. So like that, like feel spoiled. Be a spoiled brat. Do not take no for an answer. And when I say don't take no for an answer, like from your mind, literally you are just with your mind. It's just you versus you. There is no one else that you have to convince but you know? Even if someone from the truth is gonna come and tell you, like, I don't know, if you have like some love interest and they don't want to be with you. And I have seen so many success stories. They tell them, I don't want to be with you, like I just don't love you. And in their mind is like, no, you love me, you actually do. And they end up like loving them willingly. It's not like they are forced anything in the 3D. It's just like you are like, okay, you don't love me, okay, bye. But in your mind, you're like, you love me, you're obsessed with me, you can't stop thinking about me, you want to talk to me all the time. And then they reflect it back. Because if they take no for an answer, they will be like, okay, whatever. It's not like that person is my reflection or anything. I'm just gonna move on. But if you really like, you want that thing or that person or whatever, or that experience, then you're gonna have it. Like, who's gonna stop you? Only you, though. You can. The only person who can stop you is you. If you keep thinking that, yeah, like I'm just gonna give up, which, as I said, you can't really give up because you are just gonna go back to the old story. Like people, like I read some success stories that are crazy. Like people change some things that, you know, you would think that's impossible to change, but they change them anyways, and they get what they want anyways. So why would you give up on what you want, as small as it is or as big as it is? It is actually nothing small or big. It's just the same thing, because the mind doesn't know the difference between it. Only if you told it, of course, that this is more important than this thing. But if you say that it's all the same, it's gonna be all the same. And you know, when you are not consciously creating, it's like you are just like going with the waves, you know, being dragged around. Like for example, if you are like, you want to get to know somebody, but somebody else know that person before you, and they told you like, oh, that person is like this and like this, and don't talk to them, they are like this and like that. And if you go by what they told you, you are gonna expect and assume that they are gonna be like that with you too, you know? But if you have a great self-concept and you really want to talk to that person and you don't care what other people think, you're gonna be like in your mind, okay, they are like that with them though, not with me. We are not the same person, we don't have the same self-concept. I do not believe that that person is gonna treat me badly, like they talked about them. And guess what? They're gonna be the nicest people with you because that's how you see it. Because your self concept is firm that you are not gonna just take other people's words for it. That's, oh, really, that person is really bad, he's disrespectful, and he talk like that. Oh, I think I don't want to talk to them too. I mean, yeah, you could do that too if you have no interest and you don't care. But it's just like a good thing to be like, well, I don't have to take your words for it. I can just assume from my part. And I had this experience with so many people, like old friends that I used to have. That's when someone come and talk to me about that specific person and told me like, oh, like they cussed me, they're so disrespectful to me. And I was so shocked because they are the nicest, the kindest people with me, you know? They would never dare to talk like that to me. It's just like you keep revising those things and like you'd be like, yeah, like because this is my reality, you know? People are gonna treat me with kindness and love and respect. I don't care how they are treating you in your reality, but in mine, they are behaving just fine. So that just shows you that each person see life through their self-concept, through their experiences, through their trauma, through their conditioning. Or like the stereotypes that we have in society, you know. All those things like they drop down once you start consciously manifesting and you start being consciously aware. You're not gonna see the things the same way, of course. or you are gonna start like keep going back to victimhood because it's nicer to blame other people. Oh, that person, he was like this, like it's not my fault, like they are like that, like it's, I don't know why this keep happening to me. I just don't know. I always attract people who are so mean to me, like, yeah, that sounds like, it sounds like you are innocent, you are always the victim, and other people are always like they did something wrong. But in reality, you are the one who keep attracting that kind of people. So who we should be asking questions? It's you. You are the one who keep attracting them. It's your problem. You have to fix that. And sometimes you have to be sometimes you have to be so stern and you have to be like harsh with people. Because sometimes like you don't like to see the truth, you know, it's just like to keep complaining. Because they feel like there is no other way but to complain. And other people, they have their own lives and their realities and they have their free will. They can come to you and treat you however they want, and it's their fault for that. And I understand that's how we have believed that reality works. So once you understand that it's just you here, you know, it's just you here. In your reality, there is just you. And everyone is just reflecting a perception. That doesn't mean they don't have their own realities. In the multiverse, each person have their own bubble. But in your bubble, you would never know how you are in their bubble. And it doesn't matter because you can't know, you know. What's important is your reality. And you are just experiencing perceptions. You know, perceptions of people. Reflections of people. Like there is some, for example, there is some kind of people who are like, they always attract someone who attracts people who are disrespecting them, talking down to them, being rude to them. And if you are someone who doesn't have the same belief system, you are gonna look at that person and be like, how, like, why are you letting these people talk to you like this? This is crazy. But to them, it's like it's familiar. It's what's familiar. Like if someone would come to talk to them nicely, they are gonna feel like that person is in love with them or something. And there is this kind of people. But they are just being human. They are being distant human beings because they are used to being disrespected, being rude to, talked down to. You see what I mean? It's like when you elevate your self-concept, things just start looking normal to you that other people may not. Because you worked on your self-concept. It's just as simple as that. You don't have to pay anyone money to do that. It's like you can do it on your own, you know. Of course, if you want to help from coaches and stuff for emotional support, you can. But you don't need it. You can do it on your own. Just by robotically affirming, that's it. So with the example that I said, people who tolerate disrespect, they are more likely to keep entertaining that because it's familiar. But someone who doesn't tolerate disrespect, like once someone talks to them a certain way, they are not gonna give them a chance, you know? They are gonna cut them off immediately or call them out on it. Because those are totally two different self-concepts. You have to get that. Because it's not familiar to you to be disrespected. So why are you gonna deal with it? So you see what I mean? It's like familiarity can literally like drag people in a way that is crazy. So being aware is so important. That's what you are tolerating that you do not like is familiar to you. I'm sorry that I have to break it to you like this. But it is familiar, that's why it keeps happening and you keep like letting it happen. It's not because you are stupid or there is something wrong with you, it's just because that was familiar. That's it, at some point. That's why I keep saying that anger is a really positive and great emotion and it's so misunderstood. Because when you start standing up for yourself and being there for yourself, you start getting angry for yourself for why you keep allowing shit to happen to you. And that's a good start. That's a great start to feel angry. Angry, it's a beautiful emotion. It shows you that you deserve better. And you should fight for yourself. If you are not fighting for yourself, then who are you going to fight for? Nobody's worth it. You know, fight yourself. Especially if you have been dealing with disrespect and letting people just walk all over you and just accepting stuff that you shouldn't. You have to be angry. That's healthy. If you are not angry, then what's the point? How are you going to change anything if you don't feel angry about tolerating it for a long time first? So, with that being said, if at some point you are affirming and the old story just comes storming at you and you feel so angry with yourself and at your mind, just know that you are doing everything right. You are not doing anything wrong. You are not crazy for being angry. Just between you and yourself. You are not out of your mind. You are just doing the right thing. It's like going from something that it was like, yeah, well, that keeps happening to me, like, I don't know, but yeah, that keeps happening, to actually like being angry that why that shit keeps happening. I do not tolerate it. It's really huge. You have no idea the difference between those states, you know. It's like from being like a victim and just you gave up a long time ago to being like, actually, like, I would do anything to change this shit because I deserve so much better. I deserve so much better. So why would I deal with this? Then you start having like more pride, which is, to be honest, it's a healthy pride. It's not like a pride that you are gonna like being a narcissist or like walking all over people or something like that. It's just pride towards yourself. That I deserve better. What was I accepting? Like, I deserve better. Do you know who I am? Like, I am me, you know? I am literally me. And I don't need to say my name. I don't need to say who I am. I don't need to say anything about me. I am just me. And that's enough. That's enough for me to deserve better, to have better, to experience better. And if I didn't experience better, who's gonna experience better? This is literally my reality. You know what I mean? I deserve better. I deserve to be happy. Because I'm sick and tired of seeing just other people being happy and I am being miserable. And I'm just watching, you know? It's time for me to be watched too. In a good way. To be seen too. Because that's the problem, is like people who are always like in a position when they're watching other people, congratulating other people always have some kind of achievement, but you are just sitting there and watching. It's because you are scared to be seen. You don't want to be in their position. You're scared. You want to, but you it's not familiar. It's scary. It's scary to be out there achieving things and people just like watching you. But again, that's your reality and it's your rules. Like if you don't want to be watched, then you don't want to be watched. You can achieve things in silence too. You can do huge things and be happy in your private life, and not everybody has to know. Just remember that it's not like black and white. It could be like grayish, it could be like any bluish gray, it could be any color. It doesn't have to be black and white. So you make the rules. It's not like, oh my god, like if I want to change my life and be better, then I have to be seen. You don't have to if you don't want to. Maybe it's something that you need to grow to grow to like it with time, but not from the jump, you know? It seems crazy because to you is like I'm gonna feel naked and vulnerable because like everybody knows everything about me, or they keep waiting for me to do something next. No, you can live a really fulfilling, happy, private life. There is that too. But like, with like the beliefs that we used to have, everything is operating with duality, you know. So whether you have this or you have that, you can't have something else and you can't have them both, and you just have to choose. You don't have to choose anything. You can just say like, well, I don't want neither of those. I can do my own thing, or I can take just what I want and leave the rest. Anyway, as a conclusion of all of this, just keep affirming, keep going back to the new story, and just be stubborn about it. If your mind is making you angry, that's okay. You can scream at it, just shut the fuck up. You can do anything to just get back to the new story. So what you are doing is like you are starving the old story and you are feeding the new story, which is the point. So keep affirming. Keep affirming. You know when you're gonna start affirming, you're gonna start getting inspired actions. Inspired action is completely the opposite of like taking action based on fear or like, oh my god, I need to do this in the 3D in order for this to happen. That's completely the opposite. Inspired action is like when you just do something, you don't even know why you're doing it. It just feels right to do it. It feels wrong not to do it. And you just do it. And it's like it's leading you. That's what's called the path of least resistance. It's leading you towards your desires in the less effort, less resistance possible. So if when you are affirming, you start like getting the urge to do things that you didn't do before, like just like, oh my god, I need to, I don't know, to bake this cake, and you never baked it before, and you are seriously interested. Your ego is gonna be like, how is this related to your affirmation and your manifestation? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to the ego though, because the ego doesn't know shit to begin with. But to the higher self, it makes sense. It makes complete sense. But that cake that you wanted to bake has something to do with, for example, your SP, or has something to do with you getting so much money. It doesn't have to make sense to the ego. Stop trying to make sense to the ego and trying to link things in your head. Just know that by you doing that inspired action, you are actually leading yourself towards your manifestation. So if you feel an inspired action, just go with it. It feels so gentle. It's not forcing you to do anything. It's not urgent, that's for sure. It's not coming from fear. It just feels right in the moment. You know what I mean? It just feels right to do. That's what inspired action is. Versus forced actions, which is literally you are doing it because you want to change stuff. Doing it from the ego. That's if I do this, then this can happen. You know, we are trying to force the 3D. And we said that you shouldn't do that. You don't need, if you have what you want, you are not gonna do that. If you have what you want, you are not gonna be doing that. It's crazy to have what you want and at the same time to do that. It doesn't make any sense, right? You can't have it and you don't at the same time. So just when you get an inspired action, just notice it and do it. That's it. You don't need to think about it. How is this related to this? It's none of your business. Even if you keep thinking about it like 100 days and 100 nights, you are not gonna know you are not gonna know how it's related to it. You are not gonna know. You can't know. Because the ego doesn't know those kind of stuff. So why bother? Just know that it's gonna lead you to it. That's it. That's all you need to know. Just know. You don't need to believe it. You don't need to keep overthinking about it. As if like overthinking about it is gonna make it happen. That's not true. Stop over-analyzing stuff. Just say shit because it's going well with your story. And if it's unbelievable to you that it's making you laugh, that's great. So stillness is great too. You don't have to always be like talking to your mind. You can just observe it. and let's practice non-reaction. Let just thoughts just go and pass like clouds in the sky, even if they make you feel some type of way. Just have to remind yourself that those are temporary emotions, temporary thoughts. They are events happening, they are not identity. So your ego is not gonna cling to them, that everything that's happening, that it has something to do with me, that I am not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not. No, no, no. It doesn't mean anything about you. And here we are gonna really show how stubborn you are and how badly you want a better life. It's like you do not cling, you do not create an identity around anything that doesn't make you feel good. You already did. Unfortunately, that's why it's there, okay? It's already happened. You don't need to keep clinging to it. And it could be like this, a great example for people who feel like they get rejected a lot. Like whether it's romantically, whether it's career-wise, they are always rejected, they are always said no to. And they have that belief that people always reject me. You know, I'm always rejected. People always say no to me. So when they are gonna start changing the story, it's gonna be a little tough for them to not go back to that victimhood. Have to look at somebody telling them no, sorry, and they have to not internalize it. You know, they have to know that that's just the old story is still playing out in the 3D. It has nothing to do with you. You already shifted to the new story. It's done. It's done the moment you start saying that this is who I am and this is what I decide to be. It's done. So when something that is still related to the old story happened in the 3D, you have to be there for yourself. Don't abandon yourself in those moments and let yourself just thinking about the old story. Yes, feel your emotions. It's okay. Feel those triggers, let them go. You can scream it while you are even crying. I do not deserve this shit. I deserve better. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve to feel like this. I don't deserve to keep experiencing this. I deserve better. And then when you feel calm again and relaxed again, which however long it took you, it's not necessarily, it has to take you 10 minutes to 1 hour. If not, then you are not normal and there is something wrong with you. No, it could take you the whole day. Each person processes the emotions differently. So when you are finally like not triggered anymore, go back to the new story again. Take as much time, like even like in those period of time you could also go back to old habits that you stop doing just so you can soothe yourself in that time. Do it. Whatever is gonna soothe you in those moments without you giving any meaning against yourself or any judgment over your head that, oh my god, I ruined everything now that I get back to these old habits because I felt bad. Oh my god. No, you have to detach from that view and tell yourself that it's okay. It's okay. This is keeping me alive for today. And that's more than enough reason for me to do it. Training yourself to not be judgmental with yourself when you are going through a hard time is also a practice. If you are used to being so harsh with yourself all the time, it's a practice. It's reminders that happens. You have to remind yourself daily that you old identity is dead the moment you said I don't want this anymore. Even if the 3D is still glitching a little bit, it's still lagging and showing you the whole story, that it's just because it has been repeated a lot. And you have to be aware of that. it's still in the 3D, it's because it has been repeated a lot. But the moment in the 4D, the moment you say, I am this person, you are that person. In your mind, in the 4D, you are that person instantly. You know, because someone who is actually that person is not going to be like, I don't want this, I want to be different. Unless, of course, you go back to the old story and keep repeating it because you like being the victim. But once you're like, I'm actually like so done with this, I'm really done with this. I deserve a better life. I deserve a better self-concept. I deserve to see life differently, and I deserve life to be reflected, to be 10 times, if not 100 times better than ever. Once you make that shift, once you make that decision, you are already that person. Even if the 3D still doesn't show you anything, you have to understand this thing. The mind, of course, is telling you you are like joking right now. What are you talking about? You're crazy. You lost your goddamn mind. When you find your goddamn mind, then call me. And that's fine. Because the ego doesn't understand those things, doesn't understand beyond the 3D. Bashar once said it. Like, he has a really great video about this. That like, once you say you are that, you are that. There is a parallel reality that is happening right now, that it's you are that version of yourself. And there is another parallel reality where you have never been that old version of yourself to begin with. Which is here where we can talk about your vision. Which is literally when you like revise the past like it never happened. For example, I have never been treated like that. I have always been loved. I have always been taken care of. You are literally rewriting your past. In a way, you are shifting to a reality where that old self never existed. You have always been the way you wanted to be. That's why it's so important to stop talking about. That's why it's so important to stop talking about the old story. And whenever you talk about it in a way that you are actually releasing it once and for all. Not talking about it like you are still stuck there. Because you can shift to a reality where that past never existed. Never existed. So like a woman, she told him like she used to smoke and she really wanted to manifest. Shift into a reality where she's not smoking anymore. And here when he told her that, well, there is another reality where you have never been smoking ever, not even one day in your life. You can choose whatever you want. You can have any reality you want. It doesn't make sense to the ego because the ego is trying to make it like practical, like how, tell me how you never did it, like that's magic, that's crazy, that's not possible. But you are literally just shifting to a reality where that thing just was never happening, and it was normal in that, it's normal in that reality because it never happened. It's literally normal in that reality. Your ego is just fighting like with itself, but in that reality it's normal. You just don't want to do that thing, or just you are not that person, or suddenly you're not scared of that thing, or you don't have that phobia. And this is what we can also call glitches in the matrix. That can happen. A lot of things, crazy things can happen to you when you decide to think in your favor, to think that everything is working out for you no matter what, and it's not bound by how you feel today, or did somebody cast you in the street, or somebody was mean to you. That can shift literally your day, and sometimes your whole week, sometimes your whole month, because you keep thinking about it. But when you work on your self-concept, you're not going to be stuck in those things for too long. Of course, you are going to feel bad about it, and that's also fine. But you are going to switch to the new story by saying like, well, it has nothing to do with me. Maybe we had a bad day, you know, just fine. It's not personal. Why should it be personal? If you take it personally, then there is something in your self-concept that you need to work on. So everything it could be everything you could see it as an opportunity. That's, oh, I still think like this about myself. I see, okay, it's okay. Because you have to understand that patterns are so dangerous. Like you could live like 60, 70 years of your life in that pattern and you are not even aware of it and you can't even get out of it and you don't know how. And you believe that that's just who you are and you have to die like that and that's it. You know? Your first identity to ever have is the one that you have to keep up with. Like, this is who you are. You know, imagine if that was the case. But hopefully and gladly that it's not, and you can live like be anything you want, anyone you want, anywhere you want, change your identity any second you want, and be whatever you want and have all the traits that you want. You can't really want something that it doesn't already exist within you. You can't perceive something that is not already within you. So if you see somebody who has what you want, it's because it is within you. It is within your capacity of reaching, of having, of experiencing. Or else you would be so uninterested, you wouldn't care. The reticular activating system will filter it away, you wouldn't even see it. But it's literally yours. It's for you. And you have to be delusional about it. You have to be delusional about it. And manifestation delusional is the logic. It does, if you want to manifest, you cannot use new normal logic. You are gonna feel so exhausted because you want to micromanage everything. Because when manifestation, you have to trust in what you tell yourself more than what you are seeing outside of you. Especially if what you are seeing outside of you, it's old, it's literally old manifestation from old stories, just like you have no interest in those things, absolutely no interest. That doesn't mean you have to like be mean in your 3D or try to force things to just like, you know, you can just ignore it and neutralize it. And it's okay to crash out, as I keep saying, because it's important in the journey. It's healthy. Let yourself crash out. Allow yourself to spiral. Allow yourself to scream. I'm a big advocate for screaming. If you find like a place where you can scream, like in, I don't know, like in the beach, in the forest, in your pillow, in your car, like scream. I don't know why screaming is not talked about enough, but it helps. It helps a lot. Like, we are screaming, we are literally letting out all that old story out of your system. And you are gonna feel so much better. Thank you for the hearts. And you are gonna feel so relaxing. If you wanna do it again, do it again. If you wanna do it for 4 times, do it for 4 times until you no longer can speak. Your voice is completely gone. But you are at peace though, the old story is gone. Just don't judge yourself, you know, don't judge yourself in the process of releasing your emotions. You could literally completely look like a fool while releasing your emotions. You can do some positions with your body where it feels comfortable. But don't judge yourself. Don't be the observer of your body that, look, oh, you look so corny. Oh my god, you are disgusting. Just let me release my shit however I want, however my body wants. Like, don't be fooled by that image that some people may want to portray in social media, that processing your emotions is gonna look like sitting near the beach and doing your yoga and you are smiling and having a good time. That's just like just 10% of processing. That's just 10% of processing. the ugly and the dark, they don't like to show it because it's ugly. You know what I mean? It's ugly. You are crying and your eyes literally are so huge and you can't cry anymore, but you still want to cry. Then you feel like you want to like hit your head with the wall and all these things, and you are screaming and you are literally like a crazy person. That's how processing really is. So in those moments, do not judge yourself. Trust the wisdom that your body has, because your body has a wisdom of its own. If your body want to move a certain way, make like strange sounds with your mouth, do it. Let your body express and let that old story get out of your system. Trust yourself, basically. You have to trust yourself in this process. And when you are done, of course, you are gonna feel so much better and so much lighter. Go back to the new story. Yeah, and by the way, like part of not checking the 3D, not wavering and keep venting, complaining about, oh sorry, stop listening to sad music. Oh my god, stop listening to sad music. Like literally, stop listening to sad love music or any of that shit, because what are you doing? Like you are just keeping yourself stuck in that old story there, just stuck. Listen to light-hearted music that's gonna make you feel good, music that's gonna make you wanna move your body and dance, music that's remind you of who you are, of your power, music that's... I only have a huge playlist on Spotify. I do not listen to anything. Yes, I have my guilty pleasures that I listen to from time to time because I used to be a metalhead. Which is so crazy because it helps me to scream and let all that emotions out. But generally I do not listen to anything. I'm very careful of the lyrics. I'm very careful to what I'm listening to, because I understand that I can't just let my subconscious mind that literally believes anything listen to crappy lyrics. So yeah, just be careful. Anything that's gonna put you in a bad mood willingly, like you willingly want to put yourself in a bad mood. Maybe if you want to cry and it's gonna help you cry, okay, like that's good. But if you just get used to it because your mind just love to feel sad, no, that's not nice. You deserve to feel better. And you know, emotions are just energy in motion, like repeated from the old thoughts and stories. So if with you repeating your affirmations, you are gonna start feeling good, you are gonna start feeling your affirmations, you are gonna start feeling what you are saying. And that's awesome, that's beautiful when you are gonna get to that point where you are feel what you are affirming. Oh yeah, you won. And please do not give up when you don't see anything to treat you while you are feeling good. Just keep basking in those emotions that you generated. Finally your body accepted that this is familiar and we can have it and experience it. And that's awesome. You know, that's awesome. Like any second your manifestation is gonna show up, any second. And of course you're not gonna be waiting for it. Don't wait for anything. Just experience those feelings because your body already accepted that it's done. And if you have been like affirming on and off a lot, and you see people like literally getting their shit and you are like, oh my god, like what am I doing wrong? Just reevaluate, you know, sit down with yourself and what did you do wrong before? Why did you stop? Why did you give up? Where was the point where like, oh my god, I'm gonna stop this. This is not working for me. Like reevaluate. Oh, I used to waver. I used to look at the 3D a lot. I see. I'm not gonna care about the 3D this time. I used to feel so burnt out because I keep affirming like a dog day and night. I should rest and take a break. And then when I felt good, I would get back to my affirmations. Just reevaluate what you did wrong. Because affirmation works, they are just your thoughts. I'm not talking about a technique here. It's just your own thoughts. You know what I mean? Just repetition, which is the most basic form of mind control and mind programming. So if it didn't work, it's because you did something of those things. You wavered, you kept looking at the 3D, or you kept affirming and get so burnt out that you give up, and then you looked at the 3D again and be like, well, this is not working, and just creating more resistance for yourself. So yeah, the solution in this kind of situation is to take a break, relax, and then, like, you know, you make your own rules. Relax how much you want. Of course, in that time that you are relaxing, you shouldn't be thinking about, oh sorry. In any time, you know, you shouldn't be ruminating about it. Relax, do your nervous system regulation technique stuff, and then when you are ready and you feel ready, give back to your new story. Because some people, when they tell them to relax, they think like, oh, so I can go back to think crappy, shitty thoughts. Just so you can know how familiar it is, that they feel so comfortable to keep thinking those miserable thoughts, and how it is so uncomfortable to affirm for 1 hour or two. That just shows you because the whole story is familiar. Like the nervous system works on familiarity. That's it. If it's familiar, it's safe. I don't care if it's hurting you. I don't care if you don't like it. It's familiar. You don't get it. So that's why the nervous system always wins. You know? That's why people cannot maintain their manifestation, because the nervous system always wins. The nervous system has to feel familiar for it to feel safe. So when your mind and your nervous system doesn't like to affirm, and you have to drag yourself a little bit, you need discipline. You can't just tell me I'm gonna go with how I feel, because you don't feel good anyways. So you have to drag yourself a little bit. Just you have to be aware to not burn yourself out. Not to a point where you are so tired. Oh my god, I'm so hungry, I'm so tired, I can't. And I have to keep going. That's just like, what are you doing? Just take a break, okay? But when you are just chilling and bored, and you want to affirm, but your mind is like, I don't feel like affirming. There is no such thing as I don't feel like affirming. You are gonna affirm. If you start thinking that maybe I'm affirming, I really don't feel like affirming, you are just making excuses, okay? You have to go affirm. You have to make that new story familiar. You have to make your mind love the new story. And you can do that through repetition. Just know the difference, you know, you just have to know the difference between exhausting yourself and between just, I don't feel like doing it. Because discipline is important. You want consistency and commitment, well, you have to be consistent and commitment with your affirmations. Literally it. That's literally it. You have to be consistent and committed to the new story. Because you have been consistent and committed just fine to the old story. Well, that wasn't hard for you, was it? It was actually cool and familiar. And it's just like, there is no resistance, there is. There was no resistance against the old story. Imagine like you are just thinking about the old story because you love it. And there is like a positive thought just come to you and tell you deserve better. you are worthy of love, and you're like, no, my God, I have resistance against the old story. That's impossible. That doesn't happen. Okay? Why? Because the old story is familiar. As simple as that. And now you have resistance towards the new story because it's still not familiar yet. So you just have to be patient with yourself and repeat that shit like your life depends on it. There is literally people who manifest for 5 hours straight, for 8 hours straight, and they get their manifestations during the affirming, during the literally the hours of affirming, they get their shit. Of course, it depends, of course, on each person. Someone cannot be able to do 8 hours, somebody else can. So you have to go with your limits, you know. And there is some people who just like lay down on their bed and they keep affirming. They are not wasting as much energy as someone who's walking. For example, me, I like to keep walking around while affirming. So you have to evaluate these things, you know, and to see what works for you. And you're only gonna know what works for you by experiences, because literally experimenting and falling and then, you know, picking yourself up again and falling and then that's how you are gonna gain the wisdom of how you are gonna do it next time for it to work. And when you take a break, don't make it super long again, or your mind is gonna go back to the old story. Your mind's gonna get too comfortable to go back to the old story. Like, yes, feel your emotions, relax, and when you are relaxed, go back to the new story immediately. Don't slack. Don't slack off. And just like keep reminding yourself every day, okay? There not gonna be someone reminding you every day, but you can do that to yourself. Remind yourself every day that you are the creator of your own reality, that you are the only thinker, that you have to be proven right, that you have to keep going with your affirmations. You know what I mean? You have to go back to the new story. That's the only way to get what you want. You have to go back to the new story. You have to commit. You have to be consistent with it. And stop like counting days. Stop counting how many days you started and which day you are in right now. That's really so irrelevant. You are just checking the 3D, because if you have what you want, you are not going to be counting days. Just think about what someone who have what they want is going to be thinking. Oh, they are going to be thinking that they have it. They are not going to be looking for it because they have it. Imagine like you really manifested your SP and you are literally on a date with him or her on the date, but you are thinking about, oh my God, like I have been affirming for like 10 days, I don't know where my SP at. He's literally in front of you. It's crazy. That's how you do it. You have it. You are not gonna be thinking how many days I did it. You have it. You have it. And here when you need to be stubborn with your mind, I have it. I have it now. Not tomorrow, not next week. I have it now and I'm experiencing it right now. What do you mean how many days? I don't care. I have it now. Every moment I said I have it now, then I have it now, and that's it. What do you think counting days is gonna do to you? Gonna make you feel motivated? It's just your ego trying to find a way to tell you, to talk you out of this old into new story and make you stop. The ego just wants you to stop because this is not familiar. What are you doing? I don't like this. And that's not your cue to give up. That's not, oh my god, yeah, that's it. I have to give up right now. No, that's literally just the beginning. When your ego gets so uncomfortable, it's literally when you have to keep going. You are literally near a breakthrough. Like literally after that, if you are just being patient with yourself, after that you are gonna start feeling every affirmation you are saying. And your mind is gonna stop resisting it. You just have to push that little door of, I feel uncomfortable, stop. Look at the time, look at the 3D, we don't see anything. Oh my god. You know, or when you see a sign or a synchronicity, that's just a coincidence, it has nothing to do with your affirmations. You didn't manifest that, okay? It just happened. All this bullshit that your mind keeps saying to you, you have to be one step ahead. You have to be 2 steps ahead. You know exactly what's gonna say to you before it's gonna say it. Because that's literally the kind of thoughts that's gonna come to your mind when you are affirming. And then the final one is like, this is crazy, manifestation doesn't work. You are crazy. You are literally crazy. This doesn't work. All of you are crazy. You are just wasting your time. You are wasting my time with you. I would be thinking about crappy thoughts right now, but you are wasting my time. That's literally what it means. I could literally, like right now, make you ruminate about all the shitty things that you have done in the past, but you are wasting your time thinking about something positive? You are crazy. You're crazy because you want a better life. You're crazy because you want to experience love. You are crazy because you want to be happy. You're wasting my time. Let's go back to the old story. At least like it's familiar. At least it's safe. Yeah, of course it's gonna seem crazy because the mind is not used to any of that. And might as well be crazy. I'd love to be crazy in the pursuit of what I want than to stay in the old story. Depressed and anxious and feeling like shit. I'd rather be crazy. Just let me go crazy. Okay, just follow me. That's it. Sometimes you have to be agreeable. Like, yeah, you are right. It doesn't work, but let's just keep doing it, you know. You are true, it doesn't work, let's just keep doing it. It's like the brain is like a baby sometimes, you know. You have to handle it with gentleness and just slowly. Yeah, you are right. This reminded me of that 5-minute method when you are like, we are gonna sit down to do this thing for 5 minutes and then you end up doing it for 1 hour. That's literally it. Your mind is like, yeah, 5 minutes is easy, we can do 5 minutes. And then when you sit down, you are like, 5 minutes, it's passed so fast. We need to do more than 5 minutes. What do you mean 5 minutes? It's the same thing. Once your mind is gonna start believing, not even believing, just like starts accepting the affirmations, it's literally like there is no fight anymore. The fight is done. It's like a child want to put his hand on top of the fire and you're like, no, don't do this, it's gonna hurt you. And you are literally fighting with your kid to not put his hand over the fire and he's crying. That's literally what the mind is doing. It's like, just let me put my hand on fire, just let me burn myself. That's safe. That's familiar. And afterwards you are gonna like, you just cannot believe that you were like accepting to think those kind of thoughts about yourself. You would laugh at yourself. That's how crazy you were letting those old stories dictate your life. That's why on earth did I let myself feel that I'm not chosen and prioritized? What? Why would I do that? Because, it becomes like the old story, it becomes non-familiar and familiar, and then the new story becomes familiar, which is literally the point of saturation. I don't care if you are going outside and you are doing something, or just like somewhere just sitting, just affirm, always affirm, like don't let yourself get caught up in those moments, because your mind can say so many things. It's so sneaky, and you would let it slide, and you may start ruminating about it. So always like keep your affirmations in your mind even when you are outside. just keep like looping them in your head. Just choose, if you have like a list when you go outside, just choose one of them or two and just keep looping them. And reminding yourself that this is my life now. I can't go back to the old story. I can't go back to think about negative thoughts. I can't go back to think about what no longer serves me, because I know that that's not the life that I want to keep living. I don't want to experience that anymore. So there is no giving up. There is just getting what you want. Whether you are going to get what you want or you are going to get what you want, you just cannot let a gap in your mind to start thinking about what if it didn't work. We have to do something if something unexpected happened. What if this? No, it's gonna happen or it's gonna happen. It's always yes or yes. There is no no's, There is not gonna be something that you decide that you wanna be or you wanna have, and the answer is gonna be no. It's never no, it's always yes. Which means you always have to be aware of your statement, whether it's negative or not. Because if you said I'm stupid, the answer is gonna be no, yes. If you say I'm smart, the answer is gonna be yes. It's up to you. It's literally up to you. The whole universe is only gonna reflect back to you what you believe to be true about yourself, and what you keep going firm about it and going back to it and being stern about it. As you were so stern about believing that you are a victim and everyone is against you and everyone is hating on you and you are stupid and all of that, you were still stubborn about being a victim. Now you have to do the opposite. And I think it's going to be so much easier, because now you are going to be stubborn about living a better life, being happier, being joyful. It has to be. If not, then you are a masochistic person. And you have to go to therapy or something. And if you are just a normal person like us, you would want to be a better life. You would want to live a better life. You would want to feel good. You would get to a point where like, I'm done with this shit. I can't just keep letting my mind bully me and rage bait me. You wouldn't let a stranger get into your house, with their dirty shoes and getting on your bed and going to your fridge and just destroying your whole house. You wouldn't let that happen. So why would you let a negative story or a negative thought or an intrusive thought get in your mind and just let you riled up, make you feel like shit, make you feel like, oh my god, like my whole world is just burning down? Why would you do that? Now, why would you let your mind rage bait you? That's literally what you do. You are just chilling, and then all of a sudden you don't feel good. All of a sudden you are sad or angry or depressed. Just your mind. Letting your mind talk crap about you and you believe that shit. You don't have to. It's just a blue chair. What do you feel about a blue chair? You don't feel anything. It's just a blue chair. Every thought in your mind is just a blue chair. Every thought that comes to you, it's just neutral. When it triggers you, then it has something to do with your self-concept. You believe that shit to be true about yourself. So when you are affirming, resistance is not a bad thing. It's normal that resistance is gonna be there. The old story has to fight for itself to stay alive. Okay? You wouldn't have resistance for something that is familiar. Duh. The old story, you have no resistance for it. It's smooth sailing. It's so easy to think of. You have to start putting doubt into the old story. You have to start putting doubt. Like, why would I believe this? Who said I should believe in this shit? It doesn't make me feel good. Who told me why? I don't want this. Is stupid. This doesn't make me feel good. I don't like this. Of course, your mind is like, when it's you talking like that, it starts reevaluating things because bringing it back to the new story. You start understanding that the old story is actually like, that's not what you want, and it's not gonna make you feel good. It's not familiar anymore. Because people get stuck in a situation where they hate the place that they are in, but they are still in it because it's familiar. I get it. You can feel bad about it and complain about it, and I would leave you now for 1 hour from 1 year or 2 years from now, and I would come back to you and you're still gonna be complaining about the same shit. Isn't that just so pathetic? You know what I mean? Isn't that just so sad? Like, so many things can change in 6 months. Why you are still thinking that shitty story for 2 years? Like, no, you are choosing it at that point. You are choosing it. You choose those. You choose it. Once you understand that you have a choice and you are not a victim, you become willingly, consciously aware that you are choosing the old story. So I don't understand why people give up. Where are you going to? Where? There is no home there. That's not home. That doesn't feel like home. Maybe because it's familiar, that doesn't mean it's home. Home is where you are gonna feel safe, where you're gonna feel welcome, where you're gonna feel good, where you're gonna feel loved, heard, seen, understood, prioritized, feel at ease. You start putting doubt in the old story. That's not home. I don't want it to be home. If one day I call it home, now I do not. Like, I do not. I'm moving out to a new home. Then I'm gonna decorate with Dr. Diana with my own taste. That it's gonna look exactly the way I want it to. Then I'm gonna live there with the person I want to. The rules in my house are gonna be the one that I made. Nobody gonna put anything on me. This is my home, my house, not the old one though. I didn't choose that. I don't like the painting in the walls. I don't like how things looked. I don't like the rules. And you can always move out from that house to a new one. Why not? You can always move out to new houses. There is no stagnation. And it's good. You have to feel good about yourself. You have to be proud of yourself for showing up for yourself. We did 2 hours now, showing up for yourself and being here. And that's because you have a choice to think better for yourself, even when you don't feel good. You know? So what? So what if you don't feel good? That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean it's not working. That doesn't mean that you are not gonna get what you want. That's stupid. It just means that emotions are moving. That's it. They are gonna go and you're gonna feel better. It's just like that acceptance that even when you don't feel good, it's okay, because when you are gonna get what you want, you are gonna still have moments when you don't feel good. What you are gonna do about it? You're gonna sabotage everything just because you don't feel good. Oh my god, I have my manifestation. I'm supposed to feel good all the time. This is crazy. I wanna feel good all the time. Then you are putting your identity in something that is changeable, which is an emotion. You know? Then your identity will shift, depends on how you feel. And that's not it. That's not a proof that your self-concept has been changed and got better. If so, then no matter how I feel, no matter what's going on inside of me, I'm still I am what I claim to be. I am that I am no matter what, no matter how I feel, no matter how I think, no matter what my mind's told me, no matter what anyone come and tell me, I am that I am no matter what. And what we mean by that is like the stillness between each thought and the observer of the observer of the observer of the observer. It's like the stillness between everything. That's who you really are. Not the clouds in the sky. You are the sky. Not the waves on the ocean. You are the ocean. Those things just happen. They don't stay. They are not permanent. They come and go. So do not change your identity based on how you feel. I feel sad today. I am unworthy. Today I feel happy. I am worthy. This is how some people will be moving, you know. Instead, you are gonna be like, I feel sad, but that doesn't mean shit. Literally, it's just emotion and it's passive. It's okay to feel sad. I'm here. I got you. Everything's gonna be alright. I am still worthy and loved and important and treasured and taken care of and catered to. And even if I feel like shit, even if I feel like I hate my gods, I still am worthy of those things. And the truth is still gonna show up exactly the way I want it to. Because I deserve the world. Because how I feel and what I think doesn't matter. It's not dictate who I am. Not even like 0.00000, but not even that. As I said, you see those things as events instead of identity. You know? If you are affirming, for example, I always get what I want and no one can say no to me, and just somebody said no to you, oh my god. So what are you gonna do in that moment? Are you gonna go back to, oh, my affirmation is not working? I keep affirming that nobody said no to me, but that person said no to me. That means it's not working. It should be working. And you forget about all the times that people said yes to you. Just because that person didn't say it. And you know that that person, like, you can change your mind at any moment. And you shouldn't let that no make you change your self-concept like a chameleon. No. Okay, I still get what I want. If you are mad about it, it's okay. Be angry about it. If you want them to say yes the next day, they are gonna say yes the next day. Who's gonna stop it? You set the rules. Why wouldn't they say yes? They will change their mind. It's okay. People change their mind. Well, you have to change your mind in a way that benefits me. Of course. And then when you relax, you're like, yeah, I always get what I want. People always say yes to me. I always get what I want. So what? It's like, it's just from the emotional charge is what makes it believable. That's, oh my god, I feel like this, so it has to say something about me. No, it doesn't have to. It feels like it, yes, it does. But it's not. That's just an old story that you have been believing in for years and years and years. So give yourself grace and be patient with yourself. That this needs patience from yourself. You have to be patient with yourself. Because that shit has been repeated for like, God knows how many times you repeated the whole story. You tell me, it's literally gonna be like for a lot of times. A lot of times. That doesn't mean things cannot change overnight. You have to keep expecting that things can change overnight, and all of a sudden things just shifted. But you have to be graceful with yourself in the process, especially if the old story like is being repeated and you feel so angry and you are like, why this shit keep being repeated when I am so focused on the new story. That's totally valid. Just remind yourself that, yeah, I have been repeating it for years, yeah, I get it, it's okay. But literally in like just few weeks, like you can change the whole story like it never happened. It doesn't mean you need years to change the whole story, no, because you are saturating your mind. So that's it, guys. Thank you for joining this live. See you next time. Bye.